Now, speaking about the interviews I grabbed, I got two interviews back in 2019 when I was in NITC. And in 2020, I resigned from S&P Global Ratings without another job in hand. Now, that was a pretty risk-taking decision. Now, I got four job offers from LinkedIn, not job offers, interviews. Now, in that, in 2019, both of them turned out to be a job offer, and in 2020, only one from the three turned out to be a job offer. Now, where I placed is not bothering you because that doesn't matter for you. And when it happened also doesn't matter for you. Now, what matters to you as students is what are the key sources for it. Now, one key source was the content search. Now, I'll explain you in detail in the coming slides, which you might have already know. Now, I'll give you some tips for that. Now, job postings, as you all know, as everyone does, uh, job posting as usual. I got the job at S&P Global Ratings through the job posting, and I was an early applicant in that. Now, in 2020, I got job in Al Mansuri Limited through the content search tool, where I focused, try to get specific to my sector. Once I have experience, I have a specific sector to work with. Now, I also got as I said, I got four interviews in that time period, and I tried to make these two interviews as part-time project for me. Right now, I'm working with Al Mansuri and also consulting two companies. One is from India as well as one is from the Dutch. Now, this is a simple, pretty overview of me and why I be fit to help you at this point in time. I know I'm not the best guy, but let me just give in what I know. Now, I have some simple assumptions here. First thing is like you guys all have a LinkedIn profile, which definitely should be because you are an MBA graduates. MBA graduates there over the other side, and definitely you should have one. And second thing, you guys have your complete personal information in LinkedIn, and you got an all-star from LinkedIn with regard to updating personal information, and your resume is there, and your articles are there. Now, these are the basic assumptions I have when it comes to what you have, and I'm pretty assuming that. I know I'm not a good guy in judging people, but everyone should have as an MBA graduate. Now, another thing is like if you're not so good at putting articles, then at least put your abstract of the project in the LinkedIn. Now, optimize your URL. So, simply, let me go to the LinkedIn here. Now, this is my LinkedIn page. And as you can see here, you should be getting an all-star here. And attachments here. Usually when I'm open to job hunt, then I do attach my CVs too. But it's if it's not the case, update your articles and everything, and also your CV. Now, another thing is like usually we have a habit of attaching our LinkedIn URL in the CV, right? Right? Somebody there?
Yes.
Okay. So one thing I see is like, let me show you here. There is a guy here. Let me open him. He's a CEO or director of some company. But if let's assume he's attaching his profile to his CV, let's say he's open for a job, it will appear like this. And I'm pretty damn sure that your most of your CVs also would be having this number here. Now, try to avoid that. How can you do that is like go to your profile. You can see here edit public profile and URL. And here you can see edit your and customize your URL. Now, edit that and give your name so that it is pretty simple. Don't go for bit lays or short links. Just go for this. Now, this is a basic simple tip. And let me go back to my presentation. Now, my presentation is arranged in an increasing or ascending way of importance. Each slide moving forward, it would be pretty important for you. Now, these are the least important things. Now, second and most important thing is you should speak out and present yourself. These are basic things you already know. I just thought like I should remind so that the 10% of people who doesn't know just get attention to it. Now speak out and present yourself. Now the whole job market is designed as if there are a set of jobs out there and there are too much demand for the jobs. There are too much graduates passing out each year. The whole thing is like we need to be in the equilibrium where we strike the particular HR or the interview open for us, and we grab the job and be in there. But for that, the HR should know that we are open for the job. For that, you should tell use some manner that you are to expose to them that you are available for a job at this point in time. Let me give an example here. Now, this is a guy who posted. Uh, uh, he was a waiter. He's just a waiter, and he uses LinkedIn as a platform just to tell to the world that he is in need for a job, and he is in Dubai right now. I came across his profile yesterday when I was preparing for your presentation. Now, the whole thing here is like I am not a guy who usually expose myself like this in a one paragraph post because I don't prefer myself being that open, putting a LinkedIn post and telling to other people that I am jobless because there are my friends out there and I don't want to defame myself or be in that position where they are feeling too much pity for me. Now, if you're pretty confident and if you're good to go for this, you can go for this. This is a very good strategy because you get a wide reach for this. But now, the whole idea why I put this here is like a waiter or a crew member at McDonald's is doing this. Now, have you done this? You can use different ways. For example, I use this way. Usually, I frame a mail like this, a cover letter. I send this to people out there, like through LinkedIn messages, through mails, and everywhere. Just ignore the color formats here because I made it exclusively for the presentation. But usually, I use a black and white format only. I don't want to be that colorful in front of the recruiter. And now, how do I do that? I just present myself as an ESG researcher or something, and I will add a video cover letter to my YouTube channel where a 3 minute cover letter is shown where I speak myself introducing me. Why you should do that is very important. Now, the whole thing idea here is the HR would come across hundreds plus applicants. If you're sending this, they are like they are giving you're giving them a virtual experience of showing yourself, your presentation skills, and everything. If you do this, this is pretty well and good. If not, I think it's all about how good you present yourself in your CV. This is an added thing you can give, and if you have published some reports and articles, you can give that. Yeah. Now, moving forward, now this is the basic thing which everyone should be knowing, right? The LinkedIn's job filtering and search. Now, I got a job in S&P Global Rating using this strategy. Now, I used to search jobs in LinkedIn in Mumbai area, in Hyderabad area. Don't restrict yourself into Kerala area because in Kerala the openings are very less, very less. Because I have this personal experience. Because when I got my job at S&P Global Ratings, I felt too much dump on myself and my batchmates. Because when I entered the office there, within 1 month I realized that 40 to 50% of the employees doesn't even have an MBA graduation. Now they don't even have a post graduation. They are just BCom or BBA or BTech. And the whole idea here is like they have a locational advantage. Most of them are based in Hyderabad or Mumbai. And since they are based in there, they know how to crack this. They know how to send too many mails and get a job there. But the whole idea I want to give you is that try to relocate yourself to give a job hunt. Try to move to Hyderabad for 1 month or try to move to Mumbai for 1 month. Stay there and apply, send as many mails as you can. And also use LinkedIn as the best tool for searching yourself. Now, simply using LinkedIn, what is this guy telling? This is everyone doing, right? Because I am doing, you are doing, everyone was doing when you are in a job search. Now, what is so special about this? The whole idea here is like me applying on the first day of a job and another guy applying on the 10th day. There is a huge difference. And me applying on the 7th hour of posting a job and me applying in the immediate moment when an HR posts a job has a huge difference. So I would suggest you to be an early applicant and use past 25 hours filter and go city-wise. How to do that? Now the thing is like back when I was a student in SOMS, what I used to do is that every day at when we have a lunch time, In between, am I too fast? Hello.
No, 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 it's not.
Perfect. And so when I was in SOMS, what I used to do is like we had lunchtime, right? So at 1 p.m. we had lunchtime. I know now, right now it is like online classes going on, but back in days there was no corona, as you all know. So uh, so during those days, 1 p.m. I used to spend an extra 30 minutes in the class, and we used to filter the LinkedIn jobs for the past 24 hours, and I try to be an early applicant for every jobs that comes new and that interest me. I do the same process at 5 p.m. in the evening, and I do the same process at 9 p.m. in the night. Now, I would also suggest to do the same at 7 a.m. in the morning, but I'm not a good guy in waking up early, so I didn't do that. But right now, I'm pretty good at waking up 5:30 a.m. But the whole idea here is like the more you filter, the more chances are there that you become an early applicant to the job. Let me show you here for the people, the 10 percentage I'm speaking about, that there is a job here. Use the past 25 filters always because those are the fresh jobs. Now, this is my default location, so you can go for the location as well. Now, do that. Always do the past 24 hours filter so that you can be an early applicant. Another thing, let me go to the next slide. Do the content search. Now, as I said earlier, going forward, it's like uh, more important ones. Now, this is the more important ones. Content search. Now, this is something related to the post which people are posting in LinkedIn. Most of the time we might have seen that the people commenting on other people's posters like I am interested or I am open for the job and everything, and so your connection posting uh, some kind of job related post that we are hiring at KPMG or we are hiring at PwC. Now let me just tell you this, like the post you are seeing are the posts your connections post, but there are too many openings happening with people or HRs who are not in your connection, which you don't usually see in your wall. For that, what you should usually do is that go to your LinkedIn homepage and type in here any keyword which is interested. Now, if you are a fresher, you should try this out definitely. Type fresher here, space, which company you prefer, or simply type fresher. Now, let me take here an example of KPMG. Now, fresher space KPMG and enter. Go for post here. Once you go for post, you can see the post with these two words in it. And again here, I would suggest go for a past 24 hours filter so that you can get less and most recent ones. But if you're the first time to LinkedIn, and you can go for filtering everything. If there are 6 posts and at least one of them would be genuine, now go for it, check for it, because the interesting thing here is, see this, some of the posts would be having very less likes. No, those HRs would be people who are not much into LinkedIn but have a job in hand to give to you. Now the whole idea is don't go and like and come and invested in a post which are having already 16,000 likes, because the probability is 1 by 16,000. But if you are going for a job opening given posted by some HR in LinkedIn in a remote location with not much connections, you can easily find them through this strategy. Type whichever thing you want, KPMG, Fresher, or simply write Fresher Mumbai on locational basis. Also, go for Netherlands location or go for Spain or any other location, because the Dutch project which I was speaking turned out to be an interview for me, and later it became a project for me. How did that happen? I went for a search to location, changing myself the location to Netherlands instead of United Arab Emirates. Now, that is the whole idea of doing searching job wise. Now you may ask, like, why would I choose Netherlands or any other country? Because to enter the company should give you an offer in hand, and you can't just go directly there and search for a job unless you have a partner in there working there. So you can give a try for that as well. Hello.
Yes,
If you
yes, we are
guys
here.
have some questions, you can ask in between.
Yeah, that's said that I have seen many posts in LinkedIn where they're
Mm,
like this particular, for example, KPMG is having openings. So
mm.
you comment and we'll share you the link. So if you comment interested, we'll share you the link afterwards.
Yeah,
Is that authentic? Is that really authentic? Will they share or it's just for their likes and comments?
Yeah, so
this, yeah.
excuse me. So I will add to what Revati has said. See, there are so many LinkedIn pages that actually has the name the MBA job portal or
Mm,
some like that. So they used to post on a daily basis about the Deloitte is hiring, EY is hiring. I
mm,
mean, is that a hawk or something like? What are it? Is there any use in promoting that, like, or in applying through
yeah,
that?
perfect. Now that is something I was planning to discuss towards the end. Now don't go for these things. This is already there in my presentation as well. Don't go for Deloitte is hiring latest job information which has 1,20,000 followers with a bit.ly link especially, because there are too much spams happening in LinkedIn. Don't fall for that. Only fall for the posts which are actually posted by specific HRs. I have seen that people posting with 4 likes in it, and there would be HRs posting. Right now, we have opening in Mumbai or Pune in Lavasa area. Just apply. Just go for it. If they are personally doing it, okay, go for it. Now, most of the I am interested thing is happening when the people are trying to become famous, because LinkedIn, as we can see, there is a famous. Philanthropist named Gary Lee. You would have seen him in his Instagram. He has said that LinkedIn is a platform where you can get ample reach, because Facebook is exhausted, uh, TikTok is in its actualization now. Instagram is also getting exhausted because too much of bloggers out there. Now, LinkedIn is a platform you can be social, being famous socially. Now, those people post it. Now, what suggestion I can give for you is that immediately you see an I'm interested post, try to connect to those people. Now, connect to those people and message them your cover letter as I given as a format of your own style. Send them that and wait for 24 hours. If they are replying, just ping them back. If they don't have even time to reply to your message, then just think that will they really look into the 16,000 comments with I am interested. I don't fall for such things. Just go for genuine things, I would say. I hope I answered.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Any other questions in demand?
Does having a LinkedIn premium help us in any way? Like, is it necessary for this, or whatever you have
I
said?
would say I'm right now having a LinkedIn premium. It only helps when, let me say, one of the CEOs in this company actually looked into my profile, and this turned out to be a project for me as well. This Sandosh, he was an NIT pass out as well. Now, this guy actually peeped into my profile. Now, I could know who viewed my profile, even if he is not having a premium account, or even if he is having a premium. Actually, this guy is having a premium account. Now, I was not able to see him if I am not having a premium. So since I have a premium account, I can know who viewed my profile, and I can connect with him and ask him that is there anything in demand which I can help you. Now, this I would say for premium, it is very essential for professionals. For job search, I think maybe for knowing what skills you lack, something like that. But again, that is not a mandatory thing, because back in then when I was job searching, I didn't use the premium. So the whole idea here is like for job search, it is not essential, but I definitely know that every one of you will be having a 1 month free trial. Go for it, try it out. Just opt out in the 30th day. Now that is the answer I could give at this point in time. Hello.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
right.
skills. So many times we find that for even
Mm,
for freshers, they won't be specifically telling us MBA, or they'll be looking for a SAP consultant, etc. So
mm,
how do we select that profile? How do we know that it's for us? Seeing the job description. Uh, I am in a confusion where which would be the job that I would want. So
Now, I got your question. Uh, I got your question. The whole idea here is like fixing your domain, right?
Yes.
which domain you will fall into. Now, there are two of my friends who were techie graduates, one in civil engineering and another one a CS, and both of them are right now working in SAP in Deloitte. The whole point was they got job offer from Deloitte, and there is no other way for them getting trained for SAP. And one of my friends, Jamshid, is working right now in EY in data analytics, and I pretty well know that he is a marketing guy. And I naturally fall into sustainability consulting just because I got a job in there. Uh, I would say that is a pretty risky thing for me also to decide. But I think once you have experience once you crack the job, you let me go back again. Now the whole idea here is like getting as many offers. How to do that, I'll go ahead and tell that you how to get too much of offers. Now, if you have only one job offer in hand, you will end up taking that, accepting that, and turning that to be your life changing thing. If you get to be a SAP consultant, you don't have any other option. You're getting trained for being a SAP consultant. Now, the whole point here is like if you get two job offers and one is for marketing and another is for SAP consulting, you have an option. So fixing domain again, it is like fixing a topic for your bigger MBA project. I can't answer that.
Yeah. Ah, yeah, I get it.
Shall I move on then? Hello.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Now content search is done. Now this is a very interesting thing. Uh, Too much of offers I got from this method, mailing directly to people. Now, to whom you should mail, that is again the question, because you should get the database. I mailed 7,000 plus companies after coming to Dubai to get 10 interviews. Now, as I said earlier, I got 4 job leads only from LinkedIn, but there were also job leads I got from outside LinkedIn. One of them is through direct mailing. So I mailed 7,000 plus companies, and according to my experience, you should mail 1,000 people to at least get 5 callbacks, not even interviews, just 5 callbacks. One can possibly turn out to be a job offer or an interview for you. Now, how does this work? Back when in November, not November, October, yeah, October in towards the end after resigning from S&P Global, I didn't had a job offer in hand, as I said earlier, and I came to Dubai and I was sending mails, and I was talking to one of my brother, and I was telling him very proudly because I was telling him very proudly that I sent 30 emails today. I was like, okay, so what? What's the big deal? My brother, he is already working as in a Fortune 500 company named Brooks, and he is the area manager in Middle Eastern and area. And now he was asking me, so what's the big deal? You sent 30 mails. I was like, I sent 30 mails. That's a big deal. That itself is a big deal. Now he was saying, no, you should send at least 300. I was like, "What, dude? What are you telling? You can't just ask me to send 100 mails a day. That is a tedious task. I'm sorry. That is a tedious task. The whole idea here is like you should actually send 300 mails to get a call back. And the next day, I actually sent 500 mails. If somebody is asking, I can even show you my mailbox. But even I have given a screenshot here, 8,000 mails I sent from that date. Now, how to do that? I did it all alone. That could be a motivation for you. Now, beyond motivation, how to do that as a group? Because right now you have a privilege. Because right now you have a student identity, and you are not like a free bird who is worried about getting a job. Right now you have 2 months, 3 months, which is a big time. How to do that? Take one big project time. I think Reverie already started this. I have given this idea last 2 weeks back as well. But why I am telling you this is that if somebody is not too much interested, they should be into this, because this is a collective effort you can do, which I did alone. Collect the HR mails from the company websites directly, and also when you are doing the same process, go to their career websites and collect all the graduate programs if they are having any, and also collect any job openings specific to their domain or finance or something. Collect that, have the link in an Excel sheet, Update list each year. This is for juniors. Once you get the seniors list, also update the email IDs and graduates programs each year. Now, even if you collect 2000 companies mail or HR programs, there is very less chance, or 30 or 40% chance, that the companies call you back. And there is only one person, so there is a very limited chance they call back, and there can even be chances that 1% of them would come in negative. I'm not the right person to do this, or don't send me these sort of mails. Ignore them. There are always hypocrites, or crazy people who pull our string in the back, but the other 99% are conspiring us to our success, as Alchemist said. Now, even if you get only one company response, that is a success. One company just telling that, send me the brochure, send me, we have an opening here. That is a very success. I personally sent 7,000 mails and I got 10 interviews. Now, just think, if you're 40 people, uh, how much you can actually send? 70,000, 1 lakh companies. And do you really think if you would send 1 lakh companies and you won't get a job offer? I don't think so. If you send 1 lakh mails, definitely you will get 40 of you will get a job offer. Now, definitely there will be people already with a job offer in hand. For them, what I want to tell is, like, as the previous girl asked me, like, which domain, if you are confused about your domain, until you get the job offer, you have time. You have time to search for another company. Give that a try. Use LinkedIn as a platform to grab the second offer, because back then in SOMS, I also got a job offer from company as a role of company secretary, which I personally didn't prefer. I can't be a company secretary for a CEO after studying MBA. I was personally not feeling that good for going to that post. So that was in January, and I thought like I should be in some corporates, MNCs. That's why I tried myself out, and I rejected the offer directly without even holding it, because not a secretary job anyway. And that was my way. If you are pretty well not judging jobs, that way you can go for it. But the whole idea here is, like, if you have an offer in hand, also don't stop trying for this. Do a collective effort. I hope that this did make sense. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So one thing here is, like, create a mail list like this. Now the whole idea here is, like, you can't you don't want to spend too much of time into this. Just only spend 7 days for this, because I don't want you to interrupt your studies, or you interrupt your cool fun times for this. Spend productive 7 days for this. In each 7 days, just spend only one productive hour for this. Don't spend too much time, because when you are 40, 50 people attending the session, when you're 40 people, just divide 2,000 companies. It's like 50 companies per head, and that's a matter of 1 hour for you. That means you can actually explore too much of companies, 14,000 companies, 20,000. Just think that I did all alone. How much you can do it when you are together. Another thing is, like, fetching company databases, the company emails. How to do that? Go for searching vendor list in Google, and also go for free zone companies in India, Dubai, or Qatar, or Singapore, or even Netherlands. Download it. And also, the whole idea here is, like, than you getting placed in a company like Ural in Kerala or VKC, the whole idea here is, like, you shouldn't restrict yourself, because you are an NIT Calicut password. You're gonna be an NIT Calicut password. I know your syllabus. I know how systems work in NITC SOMS. The whole idea here is, like, being the most productive, and making yourself, giving that brand value of that you are an NITC pass out. And try fetching the national companies and MNCs. How to do that? If you're so concerned of being placed in Indian companies, go for a list of Indian companies representing themselves in global expos. That is very well easy, because only pretty good multi-million companies go for global expos, like expo in Dubai, Singapore, China, wherever it is. Only pretty well fit finance companies go for it. Now, go for hunting down the list, because for example, if I'm taking Dubai, there is a Dubai 2020 expo. I go for the expo site and I see the participants in there. Now I get the list. I just search those companies and apply to them directly. You can do the same for other countries as well. Now this is a way how to fetch databases. Now, just give me 1 minute. Any questions here? Hello.
Yeah, I hope no. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
move forward.
Perfect. Now, going forward, graduate programs, I already said, because I even attended a Unilever's graduate program back in June and I got rejected. The whole idea of rejection is that you get motivation to apply the next time they open up a graduate program. Now, I would suggest you to hunt down the graduate program by reputed organizations like Unilever, Petrofac, Shell, Enron, and every companies. Just do that search by your own. Also do that search while you are doing this database collection as well, so that your friends also get help. You guys are 40 in numbers in each batch on an average, so it's like you can collectively help each other like anything. Now, another important thing is I found, this is completely out of my experience, CEOs responds better than HRs. Now, one thing we all do after having a LinkedIn connection, especially when you are open for a job, is that connect to as many HRs as possible, right? So the idea here is like connect to HRs, along with that connect to the CEOs of those companies. And now connect to both and message the one who accept your connection about your cover letter and CV. Now I'll just show you how I designed my no, there is a tip here. Like, if I usually add value proposition along with my CV. So usually I just I know my stream. That is why I do this. If you know your stream, along with your CV, do a value proposition like this. This is the way I do. I won't suggest you to do this because it is, again, if you have a different way of doing it, do it. Now, why I said CEO respond better than HR is because out of my experience, as you can see, um, one of the CEOs of a company in Dubai actually said me they are not currently recruiting. However, they asked me to send a mail, and this turned out to be a part-time project for me as well. Now that is a closed project for me. The whole idea here is like people do respond. Uh, Especially when it comes to CEOs. Now here you can see a Fortune 500, not Fortune 500, Fortune 2000 company CEO asking me to relocate myself to Lebanon. And are you willing to move to Lebanon? And what is your salary expectation and Vagera? Now the whole idea is like I couldn't even attend the interview because that place was in Lebanon. I think most of you already know how politically risky is to work in a country like Lebanon. Now one thing I can show you is, let me type CEO here and people here. One question I want to ask you is, there are 91, sorry, 91, yeah, 91 lakh 40,000 CEOs of a LinkedIn, and there would be productive CEOs of 20% in it who are live in their business. Have you really connected? How many of the CEOs have you really connected? Let's set aside HRs. HRs definitely you should be doing when you have a LinkedIn. One question is that, ask that yourself, don't answer me closing the call while I'm closing the call, not now. While I'm closing the call, just ask that question to yourself, like how many CEOs have you connected? There are 91 lakh. Now you can see, as you can see, there are pending invitations I sent back them in time. But the whole idea is like most of them accepted, but there could be pending ones. Now you can see many people over here. CEO of Telegram is here. Now the whole question is like, I haven't connected to him. So the whole question is like, you have been lately thinking about sending applications to people. It's also pending. You have been lately thinking about sending connection, getting a job in companies like Google, Facebook, or SNP, or even Deloitte and EY. Now, have you ever thought about grabbing a job in a company like Telegram or other companies? The whole idea is like you should do that, tracking down the non-Fortune 500 companies, because we never know who the next Tesla is going to be, and most of them criticize Elon Musk, and you can see even the shareholders are becoming Teslaneers, having millions in their hand. Now, the whole idea is that giving yourself out and connecting to CEOs because they respond. Now here, what I given here are just two examples which I thought I could show you, but there are many CEOs who actually said there are no openings, or you can connect me in the next month and we have a project opening for you, something like that. Now I'm not exposing everything here. Now, also don't sticking yourself with CEOs, because the first interview I got from Dubai was when I directly sent in a mail to a director of a company. His name was Richard Menes, and he was a director in a 2 billion turnover company named Utico. Now that they just pulled me down, I didn't got the job offer there. The whole idea here is like to tell the people that you didn't got a job offer, you should get an interview first. So it's all about trying. No, as I said earlier, don't go for these things. Don't go for bit lies. Don't go for I'm too invested traps. I was thinking of closing the call in 40 minutes. I know it's 41 minutes already. Now, one last thing is like how to improvise your CV. Now, the whole idea here is like there are freshers in the gang. That is pretty well and good. And there could be entrepreneurial people who are wishing to be an entrepreneur in the call. I'm sorry, in the call right now. But have if you are going for entrepreneurship, pretty well and good, because I also aspire to become an entrepreneur in the next 10 years. That is the best thing you can do in the society of giving employment and creating value. But I'm speaking about people who are freshers and who want to change their domain. It's like you want to move to marketing, or operations, or consulting, or whatever it is. Have you went to the TBI in NIT Calicut? Now back then when I am doing my MBAs, me and one of my friend listened. Uh, Actually, every month, uh, 3 to 4 times we used to go to TBI. Why? Just to show off in front of the techie students, because there are startups consulting over there and they don't know any marketing or finance terms. Now, I just use the word show off. Let me be very specific. I was just kidding. Now we went there to give startup consulting to them. I did the startup valuation for the startups in there. Mainly we focused on three companies. One was Arista, one was Pill, and the Minimum Daily. And the whole idea there are techie startups incubated in NIT Calicut's TBI. Now there are students still there incubating. One of my friend Divansh, I think he passed out or not, I don't know. He is still incubated in NITC. But the whole idea here is like they want MBA help. Now they don't come for you. It's just that you should go to Preeti ma'am or whoever the right now the coordinator in TBI and tell them that we are interested to do consulting to the startups here, and she will give you the names of the people and tell the students in the BTechs that we are ready to give help or management suggestions to you. Because the whole thing with NIT BTech students is that they know the idea and they don't know how to execute it. Even a simple marketing term you give to them is a productive help to them. And lesson even did conjoined analysis from the marketing, which Nitya ma'am actually taught him to those students, and that actually turned out to be their product value proposition when they were actually launching the product. Now, do that as a team. If you're 40, just divide yourself. I think 30 would be actually invested to do this, and 20 would be ending up in doing the consulting. So just divide among yourself, form a gang of two or one, even do be a gang of four. Or if you're a solo guy, go for solo consulting. Do that, because the whole idea here is like do a consulting on January 1. Now it's already closed. Do a consulting on January 28th. Do the second consulting on February 25th. Do the third consulting on March 20th. The whole idea is like you are only spending 1 hour of 3 days, but you're actually getting a 3 month experience, and you can actually put that in the CV. After third month, you can ask TBI's Preeti ma'am to issue an experience certificate from TBI that you was a consultant or you were consulting startups or helping startups. Now that actually breaks the fresher zone of you, and you can be an experienced guy, because that actually helped me to get a job in SNP, because SNP were not a company which directly every time hire freshers. So I think that is it. Thank you. Now I'm open to questions if you have any. Hello.
Yeah. One more thing is, what are the skills, like what do you think that it is necessary to apply for a job? Like, R, Excel, like that. So what are the few tools that is a must to apply to
Mhm.
jobs?
uh, I can't be specific, but the whole idea here is like, if you know something like Rebecca, just be confident enough to add it in your CV. And another thing is like, be specific and try to add more, because when it comes to NITC, I pretty well know that you can actually do a 20-hour session. You don't have much class timings there. Afternoon time, you are free. So try to spend an additional time with some consulting firm in Calicut, or a firm which is giving training in SAP, or whichever is your area of interest. Let's Google which are the specific tools. I personally preferred SAP Peachtree, but I didn't have much time for doing that. So I just added whatever I learned in NITC. Again, it's again domain specific, because domain specific, there are too many tools. When it comes to Zoho, they are offering multi-level tools. Again, it's about personal choices. I can't be very specific to that. Hope I answered.
Hi,
Yes.
Sharafuddin. I have a
Mm,
doubt.
mm.
Am I audible?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. You mentioned about some consulting in TBI with
Mm,
Nitya ma'am.
mm,
What is that? I don't get that point really.
Okay.
Consulting means
Thank
whether
you.
we give the consulting because we are just students, then how we can give that?
No, the whole point here is like, coming, and I hope you are second year student, and in the next 6 months you are not no longer a student. Now, when you are into MBA, I think that is the point when you start thinking business and you speak business. Now, consulting by mean that we are giving them guidance on how to do business. Now, you are already would be studying, if you're a finance guy, would be studying a break-even analysis or something like that, or startup valuations in your courses. We had that when we are doing MBAs. Now we give that idea, or we do the startup valuation for them, how to value their startup after 5 years. Now they come with a problem to us. Now towards my friend, they came with the idea that they need to launch their product in next 6 months. And now how can we just do the surveys? They he use the conjoint analysis. Now we are MBAs. Now we should give them suggestions. If you don't know what their problem is, just Google it. There would be definitely solutions. The whole idea is like, they are not accepting they are not knowing the jargons. They are not familiar with the MBA jargons, or whatever they use in the blogs and everything. So it is all about we helping them. They have the idea, they have the product, they have the fund, venture capitalist, but they don't know how to execute it. Just give them a business plan. Google business plan, you can get n number of it. Yep. I hope, is it clear right now,
Okay,
Les?
thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Another thing was that I don't know whether it is happening right now. Back when I was in SOMS, we were the first people to initiate the startup pitching in NIT SOMS. Now, me and the friend I was speaking, Lesson, was the chief coordinators in that event as well. Now, we actually did that as a marvelous event, and the next year also it continued. I don't know whether, because of the situation right now, it is not ongoing at this point in time. But if possible in the coming years, you do interact with them through initiating programs like startup pitching in SOMS. If nothing more, no more questions are there, I can just wind up the session.
Hello,
So,
Rafi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about that All-Star that you were referring to.
Mm-mm.
So, how is that we will be able to get an All-Star? Because I have tried multiple times, still I'm getting, I think I'm not getting it to completion.
I think just Google it. I'm not specific. I think it's all about being up to date to the LinkedIn, having a number of connections, and updating your each and every information, adding one or two blogs, or your CVs or articles into it. Now that is the way. Have you published any articles? I don't know.
Yeah, I have usually not frequently, but I have published some.
Maybe there could be something lacking. There could be something. Just Google it. What are the criteria LinkedIn taken for All Star? I would keep that as a reply.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
I think it is of 50 connections, maybe all star.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for the information.
Any more questions?
Or even not non-job related ones you can ask, like any other. I mean, environment, entrepreneurial ones or anything.
Meghna, are you there? I guess I think you're having some audio trouble, I guess.
I think Meghna, if you're having some doubts, you can post it in the chat because we are not able to hear you. Yeah. No, I think Meghna is typing some question now. In between, if anybody else have a question, you can ask because we have 8 minutes left.
So my question is like when we are applying for abroad, other
Mhm.
in the can we apply in the European nations because they'll ask for a visa if we have a visa to work there and
Mhm.
so,
I think I have pretty experience with the Dutch companies only, but European, I think again, the whole idea here is like even with the Dutch companies that once they offer you a job, again the company will assign you to some career. I mean, the relocation consultants like what you see in your locality, but not the ones from there, and because there could be many formalities from there and like taking residence visa there and getting the approval to work there, and even if you are residing in some apartment, you should be changing your address. So the whole thing here is like everything is on a consulting basis if you are not familiar with the country. Else you should have a partner working in there and you should be moving with them. Now that is another strategy, and now that gives an extra edge that you can go there and hunt yourself. Yeah. Meghna has asked, and I hope that cleared the question. Answer.
yes, yes.
Now, why I say to Google it is because something we can't just bluff, right? So something you should go very specific. Now, for that's why I said some people to Google it because I don't know. I'm just being genuine. I don't know the way you can enter 180 countries or European Union or any. But one thing I know is like even if you get a residence visa in Dutch, you can be travel all around European like an European citizen. Now, some question here. I have seen many LinkedIn job offers where questions like, "Why do you want are eligible for this job?" So my question is, how best to answer the question without sounding overconfident? If you have some tips. Now, one thing to do, I would say, is like do your on video, 3 minute video, as I can say, show you. Yeah, I'm not presenting, but do a 3 minute video and hear it by yourself. If you're feeling yourself that you are pretty well good at it, uh, give it as an answer. Just give them your video cover letter. That is the best way you can do it. Or the next thing is like if an kind of person who doesn't typically want to send your videos to everyone with a cover letter, then do it as a blog, which I actually does also. I have a blog and I have a my personalized session about me, and in that about me you can actually read my about me with my image on it. Now these are the strategies. Now let me reread your question. I have seen my. Now I think this some jobs could also need a customized answer. Again, it's again question specific and the requirement specific. One thing you can do is like search in LinkedIn about similar jobs and read the job descriptions, and uh, filter out the value proposition which you already have, and try to develop the proposition you don't have and try to answer them with these keywords. I think that is the thing I want to tell you. Thank you. So I hope I can wind up, right? Any green signal, Revati, so that I
Yes.
can.
So yeah,
Perfect.
thank you for the question. Actually, I know on a very short notice that I have asked you to do this.
Mhm. Actually, I was interested because I know the things I said is not so important, but the whole idea here is like conveying something which I already know that, and giving some kind of motivation that if I did it, definitely every one of you can do this.
Actually, motivation is something that, as a placement coordinator, that's something that I lack these days. Because from the placement team, we have been trying really hard from the first last semester itself. Like we have been continuously calling people, we have been continuously emailing people, and we were reaching a dead end. Like it's like simply they'll say that
I know there is a saturation in everything, but the
yeah,
whole idea, I think I should tell other people who are not in the placement team is that at times you should switch with them to take their task, because back when I was in SOMS, Abin KR was a placement coordinator, and when it was towards the end, I was not even in the placement team, but I was part with Abin to helping him out, and later I also become a placement coordinator towards the end, towards March and April, towards a very critical point where no one, most of them were unemployed. Now, I would say switch yourself, so that because everything has a saturation, because we are humans and we get boredom. So to the other people out there, I want to tell is like at times take their job as well, because placement team won't give magic every time without efforts, because there is a huge effort going there, and you are not seeing the what I would say rejections they are getting, because when they send 500 mails, 450 of them would get no replies. Now you would be only focused on the one job of interview getting out from there. Now I'd say help out the placement team so that they can avoid the saturation. And one thing to you, the placement team, is that obviously even our placement coordinator got a job in June in EY, and even I got a job in July in 2019 after 4 months of passing out. The whole idea was that I was even a gold medalist in the MBA, and the whole there was too much criticism. This guy is a studious guy and he's an MBA holder and he's a gold medalist and he's not even having a job. Now that is a very bad thing you get in your life. Now the thing of the saturation level I have. Now the whole idea here is like keep trying, because there is destiny in your life, everyone's life, and there is some company actually waiting for you to be their employee. Yeah.
yes, yeah. Thank you, and thank you for the support. That as the alumni, I know many of the people are supporting us actually. Personally, I know a lot of people, So thank you for this,
Thank
and I
you.
hope there are no more questions, and we can end the session. So I guess that's the end. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for
Thanks
coming.
a lot. Bye bye.
Bye. Good night.